streets, they never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my phone, they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger side when they tried to phone me.
Yeah, you know the streets ain't never love us.
Yeah. GD. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me.
Laying up in the hospital bed in ICU. Hit that button like every 3 hours to get those blues, yeah. Laying in the test of pain, I know shit won't be the same. Sipping my stomach, shit don't stop a thing, I'm still a man, yeah. But who gon' be there when you doing time? Can't get no money, so they dropping down, these niggas bitter. And I hope they get the picture. I'm only getting bigger. The top cat out my litter, yeah. Tell you they love you, but they hate you on the low. They hold you back, how they expect for you to grow. I got locked up, ain't said me nothing, but I'm your nigga. My body numb, I got no feelings for you niggas. I'm from what niggas will shoot you right here in these hallways. If you got trust in that loyalty goes a long way. These size 11s, these pussies can't walk a mile in. They hit my cousin with life and he's still smiling. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me. Streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my foreign they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger seat when they tried to fold me. Remind me of my gun, that was real shit, this real spit. Rocks I was selling was smacking them, call it Will Smith. I ain't never told and never folded under pressure. Get him Neek was in that ambulance with me, he was on that stretcher. Niggas tried to take my life, I couldn't tell you who. Many men might not make it, I'm here to tell the truth. Me and Jop, that's my brother, you know we moving tight. Brown boys fuck with the family and I'ma get them that. This my testimony, solid, all the rest is phony. Merrick niggas come at the fam and send your best opponent. I was stabbed, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. I know the streets ain't never loved me. He was shot, he was left with a zipper on his stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved us. Gang, Merrick shit. It's how we music, nigga. Go.
Shout it out for everybody that's in the BUILDING. This is your boy himself, Big Dice the Ruler. If you don't know, ask somebody. I have changed my life. But I'm Big Dice the Ruler, and I've been outside since niggas was drinking Calvin Coolers. Can you dig what I'm saying? I've been outside since they was drinking Calvin Coolers. You heard me? I got a show lined up for y'all tonight. Y'all got a 2-for-1. You know why? Because Big Dice ain't got to go to work tomorrow. North Carolina is snowed in. Our roads are icy. Shout out to the people that's out there dropping that salt, clearing them paths. I'm going to do a show on this show. I'm going to do a show on this topic right now because this is the first time ever that there's been a blizzard in the South. It's been a blizzard in the South. And this shit right here just don't add up with me. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I've been down here since 2005. Yes, it snowed 3 times, but the weather is so crazy, it starts snowing at 11 o'clock. It won't stick. And if it does stick, it'll be totally melted. And you never knew anything about any snow about 4 hours later. Excuse me, y'all. Like Martin Lawrence, nigga smoking on that. Oh, wait. You know, a little sophisticated cough. Yo, shout out to everybody that's in the building. If y'all hear me crystal clear, anybody but a dead body, y'all know the slogan. Let me get some dice cubes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me get some Ice Cubes, making sure the audio is crystal clear. Like a Crazy 80 commercial. Can you hear me? Appreciate you, 7. Let me get into this roll call. You dig what I'm saying? Number 1, Kills 22 was the first one to pop up. Right after that was the sis Queen Gigi. Appreciate you for pulling up and holding us up down, girl. Might have to snatch you up and make you a guardian. We got FTC, my brother from another mother, is in the building. We got the sister 7. Yo, Liddy, we about to kidnap her. We about to kidnap her, Liddy. 7 is just like me. We both are enrolled in the AARP, the American Association of Retired People. We ain't got no time for that goddamn drill music that's going to be fucking our knees and our ankles up. We need to keep our energy. You understand what I'm saying to you? Mm-hmm. Then we got my sister, Mimi. That's right. She said, smoking on that shit. You better stop, Dice. I can't help it. I smoke that good. You dig what I'm saying? Thank you, sis, for letting me know this crystal clear. Thank you, FTC. Thank you, Mimi. Shout out to the brother FTC Vice. I be usually sending them videos. Matter of fact, and that shit you just sent me about the hoodies was fire. Fire to blood clot. Shout out to FTC Vice. Shout out to everybody be holding me down, sending me certain information. Be like, yo, Dice, this might be interesting. See, great minds think alike. See, FTC Vice told me something. And usually I be laughing because I usually be like, nigga, you late. Or he'll look at me and be like, come on, nigga, you late, Big Dice. But I don't know if y'all know what's been going on. You dig what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all know what's been going on, but I'm going to keep it funky with you. I got some shit to talk about. Can you dig it? And the reason why I feel as though I should be the one talking about this, I'm going to give some more people some time to come up in the building. Because 1.5 years ago, I told y'all that Puff Daddy was going to jail. I told y'all he was going to jail because Keefee D, y'all know who Keefee D is? Keefee D is this nigga here. Keefee D is a notorious, alleged LA Crip gang member of some higher rank. And these are the people, quote unquote, that Puff Daddy had paid for security, allegedly, anytime he was in the Los Angeles area. See, people fail to realize. Shout out to all the gangs that's turned their life together and put their talents into a better place, doing security for big events, cookouts, barbecues, things pertaining to kids. Well, this is who allegedly Tupac Shakur, you know what I'm saying, was in cahoots with or had a little thing with in the street because of his situation of running with Snoop Dogg and the Pyru Bloods, allegedly. Well, Puff Daddy allegedly paid Keefee D and them to kill Biggie Smalls. We'll talk about that another time. And the reason why this beef came between Keef and Puff Daddy, because they said Puff Daddy reneged on his money. Keefee D also said, yeah, we messed up in California. We dropped the ball when we killed Biggie Smalls. He said, but the person that is responsible for us killing him is from Harlem. We're going to talk about that tonight. And we're going to talk about my man right here. I don't give a fuck. Make America great again. Make America great again. Big Dice said it. Big Dice said it. You know why? Because Trump is talking some real shit that people need to really be paying attention to. Because we're all starting to act. America's the word they used to say back in the days, America's moving like a bunch of sissies. So after this intro, y'all roll up, get your drink, make sure your thing don't stink. We're going to get into some content because I got it for days. You heard me? Let's go. Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists, has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Alexander Prince, I gave you a timeout from yesterday because you was crazy. So this is what we're doing. We're hiding you on the channel now. We're hiding you on the channel now. You can no longer come in here. We wanted you, I give some people the benefit of the doubt because there'd be some chatting or some chats that allow trolling. So, they get to say anything they want to. So, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I said, you know what? I'm just going to lock him out for about 24 hours, get his mind right. But then he comes in with the doo-doo head shit again. So you know what that means. Goodbye, doo-doo head. Ghost Town Bullies, I appreciate you, beloved, pulling up in the building. Mimi said, yo, he's bringing Kushner. He can represent the Antichrist, allegedly. Katie the Kid said, yo, what's up, Big Dice? And everybody in the building, you heard? I got a great one for you, and I'm going to break this shit down like nobody else can break it down. Nobody else can break it down. Yeah, FTC, every now and then a doo-doo head will come through. But, we got to understand that this is YouTube. I'm the I-95. I see you in the building, beloved. Appreciate you for pulling up, man. This is grown folks conversation over here. Y'all dig it? You dig it? Yeah, Mimi. I'm working on me. The old Dice would have told him to either go and slurp on his parents or go jump in front of a truck and die. But you know what? We ain't doing that no more. 22 Ron, and I see you in the building. I got some things to talk about. Grown folks conversation. And I'll drop the link for grown folks conversation, intelligence over ignorance, because I got some things to talk about. Matter of fact, I'm going to start it out just like this. How many people in here believe that Tupac Shakur is unalive, that he's dead? If you believe Tupac Shakur is dead, put the dice cubes up in the chat. If you believe as though he's alive, be like he's alive. But if you believe as though that he's really unalive, everybody in here, I want y'all to help me with this one. Y'all believe Tupac Shakur is dead. Omni Iron 5 said he believes he's gone. I'm going to prove something to you tonight, Omni. Let me see if I got anybody else. I love to do this. No, you gotta be real, Mimi. That's why I fuck with you. She said, you know what? I'm kind of 50-50 on it, Dice. Part of me is like, he's gone. And then there's another part of me that's like, this shit ain't adding up. So maybe I'm gonna be able to help you, Mimi, to decide whether you're gonna say he's here or he isn't. Shout out to Omni I-95 for letting it be known that he feels as though he's gone. Ghost Town Bullies, I appreciate you. Because this is what we need. This is what we call a conversation between adults. My man Kills 22 said, nah, Big Dice, I'm with you on this one. I think he's alive. The Queen Gigi said, yo, I believe he gone, Dice. Don't kill me, beloved, but I think he gone. FTC said, yo, Dice, I don't even know what to believe. You know what I'm saying? Kills. Where the funeral was, Kills. You took some of my stuff from me, Kills. You mean to tell me he's the only public figure that unfortunately was unalive with no funeral? They gave Nipsey Hussle a funeral. Shit, they gave Whitney Houston a fucking funeral. They gave Michael Jackson a funeral. They gave Pimp C a funeral. They gave Pop Smoke a funeral. They gave Biggie Smalls a funeral. We're going to talk about that tonight. Because number one, this woman right here, see if y'all know who this is. Anybody know who this is in the picture with Tupac Shakur? Does anybody know who this beautiful woman is in the picture with Tupac Shakur? Anybody but a dead body. Tell me who this lady is. Ghost Town said some deep shit. He said, yo, check this out. Black people like to pop out a lot, Dice. We just see them now, in my opinion. They have been spottings of him all over the world. If we really gonna talk about it. He was spotted in Europe with Madonna. Uh-oh. He was spotted in Europe with Madonna. He was spotted in Belize, allegedly. He was spotted in Cuba. Okay, what if I tell y'all something? Because my man Omni I95 said, Miss Afina Shakur, that's who that is in the picture with him. He's saying that that's his mom's. What if I dropped the bombshell on y'all and told y'all something allegedly? What if I told y'all something allegedly? What if I told y'all that Afina Shakur allegedly is not his mother? Anybody know who this is? Grown folks content. Do anybody know who this is? We got some people that's coming in the building. If this is your first time, please subscribe to the channel. Do me a favor, hit that like button, share this live. Grown folks conversation. Does anybody know who this is right here? Oh, I'm gonna break this down, Mimi. I ain't got nothing but time, you heard? Big Dice ain't got to go to work tomorrow. I can stay up late because I can sleep late. Cassandra, I see you, girl. Does anybody know who this woman is right here? Everybody knows who this woman is. FTC said his real mother. Allegedly, that is his real mother. See, because this right here is Assata Shakur, who can never come back to the United States because of an extradition law. She lives in Cuba because if y'all pay attention, there was a movie back in the days and a book wrote back in the days called A Spook that sat by the door about how black people convinced the world that white people were running around committing bank robberies. If y'all think I'm joking, this is the cover on the front. If y'all pay attention to what this says right here, this says Assata Shakur, an autobiography. An autobiography, forwards by Angela Davis and Lennox Hines. But do y'all pay attention what's said at the top of that? Don't think about what the bottom is saying. Forward by Angela Davis and Lennox Hines, Assata Shakur, the autobiography. Don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to what the top says. The FBI's most wanted woman. Hazel Wise, I see you in the building. To this day, she hasn't been pardoned, Hazel. To this day, she has not been pardoned. A lot of people don't even know this. See, just like the situation allegedly with Puff Daddy and Janice Combs. Because they said that Janice is not Puff's original mother. They said that Puff Daddy's original mother, unfortunately, overdosed on drugs. And Janice is the sister of his mother. Now, pay attention. When you adopt a child, you become their legal parent and guardian. So when Miss Assata Shakur fled the United States because, like you see right here, she was the FBI's most wanted woman at one time in this world. When she fled, she left her son in the care of Miss Afina Shakur, which went through the adoption agency and adopted him. So now technically, that is his mother. SMGZ, I see you in the building. Jais, I see you in the building. We got to talk about this tonight. We got to talk about this. Now, we're looking at Tupac Shakur right there with Miss Assata Shakur. Then we're looking at, with Mrs. Afina Shakur. And then I want y'all to pay attention to Tupac Shakur's facial bone structure. If you pay attention to Miss Assata, it's a little fuller. It's a little fatter. If you pay attention to Mr. Tupac Shakur's, it's a little slender around the cheekbone. So I want you to pay attention to the cheekbone of Miss Asada Shakur now. Pay attention to the nostrils of Mr. Tupac Shakur. Pay attention to the nostrils of Mrs. Athena Shakur. Her nostrils is wide and spread and broad. Mr. Tupac Shakur's nostrils are straight, narrow, and wide. If you pay attention to Miss Asada Shakur and her nostrils, hell of a motherfucking similarity if it's not me. What you feel about that, KD? Hazel Eyes said, Marcus Garvey, may he rest in peace, was pardoned yesterday after all these years. Ain't that some shit? You see what Jai said? They will never, ever pardon Asada Shakur. Her revolutionary mindset, let me tell you something. She's one of the women that they wanted to, like they say, eradicate. That big, powerful word, when they really want to kill a motherfucker, they want, like when they say they want the situation eradicated, she was one of the people that they wanted eradicated off the face of the earth because of her mind. Pay attention. Just because of her fucking mind. She outsmarted the FBI for years. She outsmarted the authorities. She outsmarted the authorities. And till this particular day, she's in Cuba in a non-extraditional state, meaning if you get the motherfucking Cuba, the government can't go up there and grab your ass because there are non-extraditional laws that are being upheld. If you go out there and try to take somebody from Cuba, that's committing a crime against Cuba, so they have the right to defend them. So they're going to kill you. So check this out. All this time, pay attention. Let's talk for a minute, y'all. Grown folks conversation. Smash that like button. I told you, Mimi, don't agree yet. I got something to talk to you about because this is a very, very deep situation because Mrs. Athena Shakur stayed 22 miles away from me in Lumberton. Shout out to my nigga Jeff that used to cut her hair. If you pay attention to one of the last things Miss Athena Shakur said is, my son, come on, Hazel, I know you up on this. She said, my son decided to leave quietly because he was tired. That's what she said. She said, with tears in her eyes. With tears in her eyes. And she was somewhere in the woods somewhere in some fucking jungle. She said, my son decided to leave quietly because he didn't want to be here anymore. You know how motherfuckers just get tired of how the fucking world is treating them? When they start understanding how fucked up this motherfucking world is? Pay attention to something right quick, because if Tupac was dead, and this was done after Tupac Shakur was allegedly dead, I just want y'all to pay attention to something. Fair YouTube usage. Fair YouTube usage. Let's just watch something right quick. Come sit down, Egypt. You crazy, Egypt. Sit down. YouTube usage. Pay attention to this video, y'all. Smash that like button. Let's go.
I like style, clothes. I like style.
I don't care what nobody said. Who the fuck is that? Emmanuel, I see you in the building. Salute. Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that in that Scarface video with Scarface, ironically, a couple of months after Tupac Shakur was unalived? You heard what she said? YouTube. We don't own the rights. Educational purposes only. I want to know, quote unquote, who is this on that fucking cross, Mimi? They keep saying this is a stunt double. Tupac Shakur had a very, very indicative teeth and facial structure. Let's go. Let's go. Pay attention.
Yeah. Keep your head up. Yeah. I like style, flow, catch, addicted to fame, tracks, pictures of action, laid back, in the midst of mashing, no fairy tales, with this young black man, some see me stranded in this land of hell, jail, and crack sailing much, it's hard to think of culture, or the repercussions while busting on back, stabbing folks, selling my soul for material wishes, fast cars, bitches, wishing out that my life, I'm letting immortalize the pictures, watch that shit, say no shit. My childhood years was spent burying my kids in the cemetery. Here's a message to the newborns waiting to breathe. If you believe in achieve, look at me. I get so lost, though life is hard. Can't go living in the projects, broke with no lights on. So all the things that follow me, protect your essence. Form with less, but you still precious. Just smell for me.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me that's not Tupac Shakur. My man Emmanuel said, did you see that too? The OG looked like O.J. Simpson in that video. Manuel said, that's Pac. In middle high school, I had a music teacher that turned for a record company in New York, and she said she bumped into him after he allegedly had passed. Now let's get into some conversation. What I'm asking is, Mimi, if Tupac Shakur was no longer here, who was that on that cross in that video with Scarface? Because it was a hell of a motherfucking resemblance to me. But see, it gets a little deeper than this. Back to what I was saying about Afeni Shakur. She stayed in Lumberton, North Carolina. These is all facts. You can Google this shit if you think I'm joking. For 3 to 4 years, she was fighting the insurance company. Can anybody tell me what she was fighting the insurance company for? Can anybody tell me that? Well, I'm going to tell you why. She was fighting an insurance company because if I'm not mistaken, there was $100 million or $300 million life insurance on Tupac Shakur that if, God forbid, he was unalived, that's what his family members would receive. If Tupac Shakur was really unalived, how come they told her that the autopsy that they received on the death of Mr. Tupac Shakur was fictional, was fictitious? That's the word they used. It was a fictitious document. Since they presented a fictitious document, which the insurance company said, that automatically disqualified them for the payout. So what they was doing, they was taking them to court for years for that money. And the people with the insurance company with that money said, if he is really deceased, I see you, girl. What's up, Cassandra? He said, if he is really deceased, ma'am, give me some legal motherfucking proof that he's deceased. And quote unquote, this money is yours because you are the beneficiary. But let me give you something else to think about. Let me give you something to think about from a different point of view. Did you notice that Miss Afena Shakur, ironically, after she kept getting denied back to back, you see this Brooklyn shit telling me, she said the money, they wanted that death certificate because this is all facts, y'all. Y'all can look this up. I ain't just talking. I don't be up here just doing shows. I put some time into this shit. Can you dig it? Because the shit bugs me out and it's interesting to me. So like I said, great minds think alike. They wanted they said that was a fictitious document that was given to them. So they was not paying that motherfucking money out. Now pay attention. The Outlaws did say he was cremated. Top shot, salute. Where's the proof of the cremation? The person that did the autopsy on Tupac Shakur, and Suge Knight said this. Shout out to the big man. He said, first of all, how come after I gave that man $3 million, y'all never seen him again? The man that allegedly did the death certificate, the autopsy for Tupac Shakur, was never seen again. Suge said, you know why y'all ain't gonna see him again? Because I paid him $3 million. I paid him $3 million. Suge Knight got a son that went on a rant about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. You never heard from him again because he started talking about how he wanted his father out of jail, and he's going to tell the truth about Tupac Shakur still being alive if his father's not released. I haven't heard from Suge Knight's son on the internet since. If you pay attention to the video, Tupac did again after he passed away. They had him in a helicopter. Pay attention, when he allegedly was shot that night in Las Vegas. We're not saying he wasn't shot. We're not saying that he wasn't shot. We're saying that he did not die that night. Remember, pay attention. They said a helicopter came and picked him up and spewed him away. Now pay attention. The video that Tupac had after allegedly he passed away, it was a helicopter going somewhere like Cuba to like a monastery. To like a monastery. Pay attention. And you could tell it was a helicopter because the way the sand was lifting, and when people was coming towards the helicopter, the way that the wind from the propellers was pushing back, people was so in amazement. Like, for instance, this was Tupac Shakur escaping the United States and going to another country with his mother, allegedly, Assata Shakur in Cuba. There is where he was in a so-called hospital. If y'all remember, a so-called hospital where he allegedly healed up. Now pay attention. When he was in the hospital, they showed children that was running to his room just looking through the sheer in amazement. When he came out the hospital and began to walk, remember when he walked out the hospital, it was so many children that was so excited to see him. And this is my interpretation of it. The reason, well, first of all, people not going to be excited, quote unquote, unless you're a family member or someone immediate to them, if unfortunately you were shot and you walked out of hospital. Everybody he walked around was excited to see him because he was in a country, my interpretation, my analogy only, he was in a country that knew he was such a big star in the United States. And they was like, damn, he here. Because, you know, kids don't know what's going on, but the people that got him over there allegedly was going on. This is the reason why also, quote unquote, I don't believe Tupac Shakur is unalive, because when Keefee D house got raided, I told y'all Puff was going to start cooperating. Right? But check what Keefee D said he wanted to do. Pay attention. Let's go.
In the 1996 murder of rap icon Tupac Shakur, he has filed a motion to dismiss his case. Attorneys for Dwayne Keefee D. Davis just filed that motion yesterday. With the new filing, it comes just about a month before the ex-gang leader is supposed to stand trial. News 3's Andrew Nomura joins us live from outside the Regional Justice Center. And Andrew, this case sounds a lot like the Bill Cosby case from years ago.
Yeah, cases that seem similar but a little bit different. But Davis's attorney, Carl Arnold, says that the reason why he filed this motion to dismiss is because with these 27 years between the time of the shooting death of Tupac Shakur, well, this really violates his client's constitutional rights. You got to remember that this was back in 1996 when Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight were riding down Koval and Flamingo there near the Las Vegas Strip when a gunman opened fire from another car, killing the 25-year-old rap icon. 27 years later, police arrested Keefee D. Davis, a grand jury indicting him on murder charges. So that leads us to Monday's filing to dismiss. Attorney Carl Arnold says in his statement, or his reasons why of his dismissal, this filing of the motion: the lack of timely prosecution, failure to provide corroborative evidence, and failure to honor immunity agreements granted by the state, in a nutshell. And I'm going to put all this in layman's terms.
So what he's trying to say is, quote unquote, if you're holding somebody against their will, if they're in prison, there's a certain amount of time that you have to bring forth certain evidence. See, the district attorney has to present certain evidence. Yeah, okay, you got a suspect in a worldwide case. Of course, you want a conviction on it. 27 years later, you arrested this man on the death of Tupac Shakur. You charged him, okay, from certain things that you say you retrieved off of his computer and confidential informants was enough substantial evidence for you to hold him and take him to the trial, allegedly, for Tupac Shakur. But if you had this man arrested for so long, all these witnesses with these stories got to be backed up. Now it's time, if they told you all this foolishness for whatever you may have done, or if they was doing this from their heart, or you just said, well, you know what, I'm going to put something in your pocket if you come out and give me something for your time. Do you know them lawyers is just as dirty as anybody else? Now pay attention. Them people got to go to court. Them people got to sit down and point and say what they know and how they got into this agreement. See, you just can't tell on somebody, especially when it comes to a case like this in this high magnitude, because Keefee D is beating this charge with a legal aid. He said, y'all niggas, quote unquote, y'all niggas, first of all, y'all niggas ain't got shit on me. Y'all might as well let me fucking go. The reason why they don't want to let him go like that so damn fast is because now when they let his ass go, he got a lawsuit and he cannot be charged again for the death of Tupac Shakur, because that's what's called a double jeopardy standard. We talking about Keefee D, girl. Shout out to Lola Montana, because Keefee D said, yo, you know what? I want to file a motion for y'all to dismiss this case, and I want to be set free. Check it out.
He basically says that the state of Nevada delayed the prosecution, causing harm to Davis's ability to defend himself. He also states that witnesses are deceased and critical evidence has been lost, impairing the fairness of this trial. And then he says Davis's talk with federal authorities back in 2000.
Pay attention to what that says right there. A lack of timely prosecution. They give you a certain amount of time to prosecute, to indict. Failure to provide corroborative evidence. Meaning you ain't even got nothing to back up what y'all saying. Like I said, them fucking witnesses that said they knew this and they knew that, it's time for them to come to court. See, they got to come and say what they know against Mr. Keefee D allegedly. But see, that's just their part, because now the defense for Mr. Keefee D has the right to put them right back up on the stand to counter-react the things that they said and question them. Like, why are you here? What is the real reason for you here? Is somebody paying you to be here? Are you sure this is what you know? I said the same thing, Lola. Akil the MC, I said the same thing. I said it. Pac not dead. Why they didn't get that quote unquote Lord money, that money from that insurance? And pay attention to the last but most important thing. a violation of federal proffer agreement, meaning we have an agreement that you have this locked, sealed, and delivered. So first of all, you need to go ahead and hurry and prosecute this man, because every minute that you're holding past the time that's allotted, you're making it seem like you're doing something against his will. Let's go.
Nate, well, they violated that, what's called a proffer agreement. And then he goes on to state in this statement that says, in part, we are steadfast in our commitment to justice and the rule of law. The prosecution has failed to justify a decades-long delay that has irreversibly prejudiced my client. Moreover, the failure to honor immunity agreements undermines the criminal justice system's integrity and seriously questions this prosecution.
Now, do you hear this? I just said that to y'all. Shout out to Emmanuel for saying this. He can, if they dismiss this, do you know he got a lawsuit for holding him past 90 days? Like he said, he beating this with a legal aid. Yo, y'all, first of all, you can say all that shit y'all want to say about it. Where's the fucking evidence? The prosecuting evidence that the district attorney has, he has to show to the lawyer of the client. Can't hold that shit back. And then the judge want to know, quote unquote, yo, what's taking you so fucking long? Why aren't we trying this case? Because number one, this isn't a regular murder case. This is the death of the famous rapper Tupac Shakur, one of the biggest deaths ever in hip hop. And it was because of an alleged East Coast, West Coast rivalry. You see what Lola said? Pac not dead. Did you see the autopsy pic? It was photographed from the ending scene of California Love when he was sleeping in bed. Holy smokes, Batman. Let's get to this work.
We are confident the court will see the merits of our arguments. Now, Davis's hearing for this motion to dismiss this case is scheduled for January 21st. He is still set to stand trial in March. Kim, we'll send it.
Was I not just talking about y'all? Why couldn't they get the insurance money? And why couldn't they get the royalties from his estate? Because they did not produce substantial evidence backing up the fact that Tupac Shakur was supposedly unalive. They still can't do that. I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I don't believe Afeni Shakur is unalive. I believe she dipped off too. That's another thing she said. The Machiavelli, everybody said that. Where was the tattoo of Machiavelli on Tupac's neck on the autopsy? What do you mean to tell me? Where did the tattoo disappear to? Insurance companies know better than to trust fake news as evidence. But pay attention to this. That was when he made the motion for them to drop the charges. That's when he made the motion. Let's see what they just did yesterday, y'all. Let's go.
The former LA gang member accused of murdering Tupac Shakur wants the charges against him dismissed.
Attorneys for Dwayne Davis filed the motion yesterday in Las Vegas, citing constitutional violations. They also say there's no corroborating evidence aside from Davis's confessions. Shakur was killed in a drive-by shooting near the Las Vegas Strip back in 1996. A hearing on the motion is set for the 21st. Davis is set to go to trial in March.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button.
You can't play both sides, you niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The streets said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, there was a nigga that was tough, and he still told. Like, What I gotta do to make you niggas rhyme? Like, I'm ready to kill when the kind of minds be cautious. I'm dealing with more sticks than a porcupine. Quill spines, whatever you wanna call them. Yeah, plus my little mama, she a trap queen. Doggy, when she mixed with that Fetty, give him a wop lean. It was a whole lot of cars when there was stimmies round. We going over a year and half you niggas down. All these expensive clothes, like was that smart? Now they uploading they clothes on the Poshmark. Switch, baby, careful with this. I mean, this bitch sharp. One across, one down the middle, look like a chrome heart. Damn, I'm always outside. I'm like high from who? Bout to put your car on skates. You think you slide through? I help build my niggas. This ain't Legos. Protect the fan by any means. I be Diego. Yeah, tiger to you niggas. I'm an animal. It's a jungle where I'm from. What y'all wanna do? You can't play both sides. You niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The street said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, and he still told.
Smash that like button, y'all. Shout out to Way to Black. Let's go.
Life is hard, y'all. I mean, for my fitness, so all night in the vegan, I ain't never cry. I'll buy with nigga. I wish when I called that I had to die. Me in the streets, we had a conversations. Being broke was the motivation. They said they love me, but they really hate me. Me in the streets had a conversations. Me in the streets, we had a conversations. Being broke was the motivation. They said they love me, but they really hate me. Me in the streets had a conversations. I got a baller, went and found a block. God gave me a bill, Satan gave me a Glock. I met her once, she gave me the top. Of your life, you want it or not. Being broke was the motivation. Go through all the pain and the couldn't make. I told Satan, suck a dick, I went and lost my faith in it. I was told if you want it, then go and take it. I got seeds worth of mines, I got enemies, in other words, obstacles, gotta bleed. I Glock 9, a real so the need. I was sitting in the bin crying on my knees. I sat down and had a drink with me. I was thinking if my mama do, she think of me. My mama told me see my daddy when she look at me. Even though I love my aunt, I turned it to a fiend. My nightmares, it turned into a dream. My money thoughts turned into a scheme. And think that life's a game. And the shooting got no pain. I popped the bean and then I left the earth. And I had a gun, he kept it in his purse. My youngin' shot that, put him in a verse. I'm a rider, mirror tints on a black hearse. White man don't understand that being black hurts. Mama crying on the steps in front of a church. Crippin' is solidified. Yeah, I see my brother die. Little wanna slide. They ready for the homicide. Lord, take the pain away. My gun sing a lullaby. Ran from parole, I had to hustle, I ain't never hide. Tripping in the league and I was tweaking, I ain't never cried. Real multiplied, nigga, we don't never die. 100 grand flat in the streets, I had you dead. 100 round jump, big choppy, I'll behead. You used to get beside me. Signs couldn't find me, see. We was in the trenches, and the just living grimy, yeah. Getting too much money up the hill, they tried to line me. Dominican, she freaky, give me toppy in the lobby. Yeah, you pushing, or you swiping cards. Yeah, I spin the block like I spin the yard. Yeah, you stay inside or you catch a charge. Yeah, my nigga pray to God because they life is hard. My niggas in the Bing wishing they was home. Been there, done that, you were not alone. Me in the streets, we had a conversations. Being broke was the motivations. They say they love me, but they really hate me. Me in the streets had a conversations. Me in the streets, we had a conversations. Being broke was the motivations. They say they love me, but they really hate me. Me in the streets had a conversations.
That's a cold-blooded fact. That's a cold-blooded fact, Emmanuel. He said the book Prince was Machiavelli was about a prince faking his death. And he said, if you scramble the word back for this, I'm alive. That's a cold-blooded fact. But everybody that's in here, I don't know if y'all is into politics and stuff like that. But how do y'all feel about this cat right here? Before I get out of here, I'm going to break down some shit about this cat right here. How do y'all feel about this guy right here, Mr. quote-unquote Donald Trump? Let me get some words from y'all. Anybody but a dead body? I'm gonna tell you what I feel about him. He damn sure let a felon. He let a felon know they might want to hire you, but you could be a president. Because this president right here has been convicted of felonies. City Bam, I see you, and he's still the president of the United States. But you know what I gotta go into? I'm gonna see what y'all feel about this right here, because he says some deep shit. Trump is Lola said, and we are doomed if we don't stick together. The Russian princess is in the building. I see you. Salute, girl. I'm gonna tell you some deep shit about Trump, though. I ain't gonna front. See, Trump is not a politician. This is why people are upset with Trump. He's not a politician. Trump is a businessman. He's a shrewd businessman. Simple and plain. Ladies' man, gigolo, Playboy Mansion, Puff Daddy, Diddy parties, baby oil. Trump is a fucking businessman / gangster, if you ask me. So you got to pay attention. This is not nobody that went to school for politics. This is not nobody that ran to be no mayor. This is not nobody that was a senator that was in politics. This is nobody that was a governor. This is a man that had a TV show called what? With Ann Marosa. This is a nigga that went bankrupt a couple of times and still he went bankrupt and then built Trump Plaza on Atlantic City. How you ain't got no money, but you built a gambling hotel, amusement park, casino, restaurant on some of the most prime real estate in the world? Think about that. Right on the boardwalk. Trump Towers. But when it comes to our children, I'm going to be real right now. When it comes to our children, and when it comes to this child, Dwayne Wade's child, I don't know why that whole situation with that child just irks me to my stomach. I've never liked the mannerisms of Dwayne Wade. It just seemed like he don't really have a backbone as a man. I've never liked the spirit of Gabrielle Union. I don't know her. I've never been around her. But from watching her shows, her spirit just comes off dangerously deceptive. That child that they have was born a young man, a boy. And I'm not bashing nobody. I'm just telling you how I feel about this topic when it comes to children. When it comes to adults, what adults choose to do with their lives and their bodies, either you're going to support them or not. But when it comes to our children and our babies, Trump said something pertaining to transgender. The whole existence of the word transgender. Before I get into it, I want y'all to check this out and tell me how y'all feel about this. Because from a moral point of view, when it comes to us and our children, pay attention to what he said, y'all. Fair YouTube usage, y'all. Let's go. See, this is grown folk shit over here. Pay attention to what he said.
With a stroke of my pen on day one, we're going to stop the transgender lunacy. And I will sign executive orders to end child sexual mutilation, get transgender out of the military and out of our elementary schools and middle schools and high school. And we will keep...
Pay attention to that. He said we're going to get the transgender thing out of our elementary schools, our junior high schools, and our high schools. We're going to start that from the beginning. Because what he is saying is, number one, we fucking our kids up. Back in the days, there were certain things that we were not allowed to participate in. There were certain shows we were not allowed to watch. Just like they said when it came to the movies, it was 17, but you had to be accompanied by an adult because the movie was rated R, meaning it was inappropriate for a fucking child's mind. I did a show about that before. You see what Lola said. Dwayne and Gabrielle want to be the other sex, meaning Gabrielle wants to be a man. Dwayne wants to be the female. They even do role reversal in their home, and at home she's a man and he's a bitch. And that's a cold-blooded fact. And the reason why, because people question that. They question this. They said, why is Dwayne Wade attired now with so many kilts? You know, the Irish dress that men wear when they play the... Why is he has this kilt wardrobe now, and why she has the casual man wardrobe? And they said this was their defense. This was their defense. I quote, because they're going to support their daughter's choice in being a girl. That's a little boy. That's a little boy. Russian Princess said, I agree. These are things that should not be discussed in school. Now, check this out. If you're an adult, you're an adult. You're a grown adult. Even though we may question your actions. It's human nature. Chilling with love, I see you. We may question your actions. But our babies, like he said, we're going to take this out of our public schools, our junior high schools, and our high schools. Because believe it or not, in junior high school down here in North Carolina, they have football teams and basketball teams, and they have cheerleading squads. And now they have a bunch of little boys that want to be cheerleaders. And they have a bunch of little boys that ironically, because pay attention, when it comes to cheerleading business, especially in college, there are men that are in the cheerleading squad because of the dynamics of holding up females for structure and strength and support, not to be out there waving batons and shaking their buttocks back and forth in a sassy form with the displays and actions of a woman. Now they are targeting, in my opinion, because I've gone to these high school games and I've seen these little boys, and unfortunately, they are gay and they are acting more feminine than these little girls. How does your child come in a home that you provide them for and display these characteristics without you taking the time to sit down and explain to this child what's going on? Let me find out what's on your mind. Matter of fact, I'm not going to bash you about what you feel, but this is how I'm going to try to solve the problem as a parent. This is what I'm saying to myself. I need to know, when did this happen? When did this start? And what made all of this occur? These are three very important questions. When did you start feeling that you were this way? What made you happen to be comfortable now with the way you're feeling? And what made all of this occur? They got same-sex marriages now that's eligible to adopt our children that unfortunately are in these systems because maybe their parents wasn't, let's say, carrying the roles as responsible parents. So child services had to step in and take away some babies from their biological parents for the best welfare of that child. But now they're saying same-sex marriages are eligible for adoption on a child. So pay attention to this. When you adopt this child, and this child is so excited because it's going to a new home. This child is coming to a home, and now this child has to grow up saying, I got two mommies. I got two daddies. One of my daddies is my mommy, and my other daddy is my daddy. One of my mommies is my mommy, and one of my other mommies is my daddy. Listen to that fucking confusing shit I just did that confused y'all. So imagine what that would do to a child. Imagine the insecurity that you're putting on your child. Imagine the scrutiny that you're putting on your child. Imagine the questions that you are putting on your child because of a selfish action. But pay attention to what Donald Trump said, y'all. Pay attention to what Donald said now. Let's go.
With a stroke of my pen on day one, we're going to stop the transgender lunacy. And I will sign executive orders to end child sexual mutilation, get transgender out of the military and out of our elementary schools and middle schools and high school. And we will keep men out of women's sports.
Did y'all catch that part? Did y'all catch that part? He said, we're going to keep men out of women's sports. Did y'all catch that part? Let's go back to Dwayne Wade and his son that he is raising as a daughter. I'm going to give you a hint. Let's go back to something that Dwayne Wade did for his son that he's raising as a daughter. He introduced his son to somebody. I did a show on it, and this is exactly what he told his son. You're going to be just like her. She's just like you. Can anybody remember what that was? You're going to be just like her. She was just like you. That's what he said. You're going to be just like her to his son. Pay attention, man. It's just like at the end of Mr. Rogers. Oh, would you be? I'd be pleased if you be. So pleased would you be, my neighbor. You see the tongue twist with that? He said, she was just like you. That's what Dwayne Wade said when he took his daughter / who he's raising to be a girl to see a very important NBA basketball player. He said, she was just like you, and you are going to be just like her. And I'm talking about Brittany Griner. I did a show on it, and I'm talking about Brittany Griner. And on the show, I asked, how come Brittany Griner was such an influential piece in negotiation when it comes to the United States? Pay attention. A so-called WNBA basketball player that was caught in Russia with a weed pen. That person is equivalent to a Russian's arm dealer. That was the swap out. That was the swap out, Manuel. So you mean to tell me a regular woman in the WNBA that got caught with a weed pen in Russia is that powerful that they can be held in a negotiation arms agreement for a nigga that was literally known as the god of war? And then it got much more deep because you heard what Dwayne said. She was just like you, meaning you're a little boy. Don't let that go over your head. She was just like you. You're a little boy. But you're going to be just like her because they're actually supporting this child in the surgery. You see what she said? And I've been said this about Michelle Obama. She said, because Brittany and Michelle are men. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. They didn't want that ish to get out. The government said, uh-oh, we done fucked up. Emmanuel said, asset for asset. You mean to tell me a W? Let me explain something to you. Let's be real. A basketball player that got caught in Russia with some weed that was nobody would still be in Russia because of some weed. Everything you saying, Lola, I done told them. I done did shows on. They thought I was joking. That's why he brought in same-sex marriage, my opinion. Because the Caucasian presidents didn't want that on their jacket, even though the majority of a lot of Caucasian men, especially in them higher degrees and brackets, are in the homosexuality acts. Facts of life. But check what Trump said when it comes to our babies. Check what he said, y'all, when it comes to our babies. Fair YouTube usage.
And that will likewise be done on day one. Should I do day one, day two, or day three? How about day one, right? Under the Trump administration, it will be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
They already said that the LGBTQ is already setting up aggressive demands against he already signed it. He said, yo, check this out. The first day of my presidency, I'm telling y'all this. He said, this is what it's going to be. He said, I'm signing this. So he made a joke about should it be the first, second, and third. He said, hell no. This shit should be the first mother. This is something that he said this is going to be into effect the minute I get it. He said, this shit is going to the fact where our children are being destroyed. Our children are being destroyed. If you go on Walmart right now, I can't make this shit up. If you go on Walmart right now, they have a rainbow section. From newborn all the way up to toddler, all the way up to junior high school. If you go on Walmart right now, they have a rainbow section from newborn baby. All the way up to middle school. All the way up to middle school. So am I 100% Trump fan? No, I'm not. I don't trust no president. As far as me trusting them to really do everything that they say they will do, because number one, they have to put it in to be approved. They just can't change a law. They have to sign off and then hope that it's approved by their bosses. Because like they say, they're just the highest puppets of highest puppets. But the fact that he took it into action and the fact that he said it straight up and down, this shit is destroying our fucking children. It's destroying our children. I'm not talking about adults. Do I feel as though there's some type of confusion? Something that happened? That made people live certain lives and make certain choices, whether it was good or bad. I think it's certain things that people have went through that made them make drastic decisions because of drastic measures. Because of drastic measures without going into detail. But the way God made it was men and women. And I was just put up on this the other night, even though I never thought about it like that because of the spiritual aspect of it. That's why it's so much drama that comes with cheating. And that's why it's so much drama when it comes from just wanting to have sex, because sex wasn't put here for lustful motherfucking rejoicement. Sex was put here to keep the civilization growing. For life. Of course, it's supposed to be enjoyed between two people that are in love. That shit ain't just to be running around, passing around like that, sharing with everybody like that. Motherfuckers is nasty. I ain't even talking about as far as their hygiene. I'm talking about motherfucking spirits that you got to intertwine with. A lot of that shit I ain't think about when I was younger. Just motherfuckers just got wicked and evil spirits. Because to sit up and say and don't have no morale. I don't care if you're a school teacher. If they give you some type of literature telling you to go into a classroom of kids that's in junior high school or public school and say, first of all, with junior high school, I could kind of understand that being brought to the light of a conversation when it came to certain classes. Because at the certain age level and certain people, you know, certain kids thinking, you know, because of maturity or certain things they've been through, they make certain decisions. But when it comes to our children in public school and in junior high school, where they're running around with rainbow attire on and they're advocating their alliance to being lesbians or homosexuals and haven't even lived their life, I think that shit is disgusting. I think that shit is disgusting. And I don't care what nobody say. Parents are here to encourage greatness out of our children. But a lot of these situations when it comes to these babies that are, like I said, being so advocate of being homosexuals or lesbians or whatever they claim to be, I blame these parents because something happened. Something happened. Something happened. Something happened that they didn't talk about. Something happened that they should be talking about. And something happened that they know about that they won't talk about. So they wrong at all angles of the board. But think about it. Trump said he is going to demand that surgery. Pay attention. He just passed that law too before I get out of here. Surgery that can change a child from one gender to another gender. That shit is taken off the market. Do me a favor, man. Leave some comments for me. That's the only thing they want. Everything else is in the green. And tell me how y'all feel about this situation. Do y'all think though transgenders should be advocated the way it is? Think about that. To each his own. But when it comes to our babies, we got to start making more wise and better decisions. Because our children emulate us. And they emulate what we allow them to see. Peace.
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? It's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists, has to coexist with it. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be some